So the CJOD and the Tubescreamer Mini share some DNA, and if you aren't familiar with the Clay Jones Overdrive, the story goes it's a homage or clone, if you will, of the Landgraf Dynamic Overdrive, which is basically a modified Tubescreamer 808. Both the Landgraf and the Clay Jones versions went nuclear when they came out. You can still get the Landgraf, but they're pricey. Check out Reverb. The Clay Jones model is rarer, and if you can find one, they're expensive as well. So a few years ago, Arizona-based pedal designer Lawrence Petros decided to do his take on the modification, and he made a limited run of the CJOD in a convenient mini enclosure. The big difference between this pedal and the Tubescreamer are the CJOD uses a OPA 2134 op amp and a BC546B input-output buffers. I have absolutely zero clue what any of that means, but maybe you do. Lawrence says he also uses low noise, high quality resistors, and it has switchcraft jacks inside. Works on your standard 9-volt power supply. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, before I even plug this thing in, I like the CJOD better, and that's because the mini Tubescreamer has those little tiny tone and level knobs. To make it worse, the position indicators on the little tiny knobs aren't highlighted. I just can't see them. Whereas on the CJOD, it has regular size knobs and large print laser etched into the enclosure. So you can really, see where you're at. Design score, CJOD 1, Tubescreamer 0. Now let's move on to a sound comparison. So for this comparison, I'm going to use the Hughes & Kettner Tubemeister 36. I've got it set to 1 watt with the built-in power soak, otherwise it would overpower the mic in my phone. We're going to be on the clean channel. Reverb is off. Effects loop is off. I've got the equalizer set at noon. Gain is at noon. Master volume about 930, which will still be plenty loud enough, trust me. I'm going through the orange 2x12 cabinet. This has Celestion Vintage 30s in it. Sounds amazing. And I'll be playing my PRS Core Custom 22 loaded with 5815 pickups. So here we go. Alright, start off with a clean tone. I'm on the Custom 22. Everything on the guitar is dimed. I am on the bridge pickup. Alright, so there's a clean tone. Now everybody knows what a Tubescreamer sounds like by now, but we'll use the Tubescreamer as the bass line. So everything on the Tubescreamer is at 12 o'clock. Now there's your basic Tubescreamer, okay, at 12 o'clock. Now, everything on the CJOD, also at 12 o'clock. Now I can tell you right now, this isn't going to last very long because you'll notice right away that the level on the CJOD is about 5 times what the Tubescreamer is. So here goes. See what I mean? So to even make it anywhere near a comparison, I have to turn the level down on the CJOD to about 25% to keep from blowing out the camera, microphone, and also my ears. Tubescreamer. Alright, let's add a little gain to the situation and see what we get from that. I'm going to turn the gain up to about, I don't know, 2 o'clock or so on the Tubescreamer. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, let's try the same thing with the CJOD now. Turn the gain up about the same amount. See where that's at. A lot crunchier The gain on the CJOD is crunchier to me. I like the way it sounds. Now, it's a little bit too much tone, and to keep the everything consistent, I'm not going to change the tone on the guitar. It's still dying, but I'm going to turn them each down a little bit and see what we get from that. So let's try that again. All right, let's try the Tubescreamer now. You get the idea. So to draw some kind of conclusion, if you can draw one, guess what? They're both really cool pedals. The LP CJOD to me has a wider range of what it can do, a lot more level possibilities, a lot more drive possibilities. I can make the CJOD sound exactly like a Tubescreamer. I can't make the Tubescreamer replicate what the CJOD does. Now, does that mean the Tubescreamer's bad? Of course not. We all love our Tubescreamers. They're not going anywhere. And the bad news is if you wanted a CJOD, you can't go buy one unless you can find a used one, because Lawrence Petros quit making them. Maybe call him up and say, hey, Lawrence, I really want that pedal. Can you make me one? And that might happen. That might be your best bet. But I don't even know if that's possible, because the components, aren't that easy to get for him. So, do we have one pedal better than the other one? No, they're both great pedals. Do we have one pedal that's more versatile than the other one? Absolutely. The LPD CJOD has a wider range of what it can do, and it's a really cool pedal. Hey, I really appreciate you watching my video, and I hope you all have great holidays with your families, and as always, rock on.